Kendo Podcast episode 175. In this episode, I want to talk about or share my thoughts on importance of the instructors. Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from Kendo-Guide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit Kendo-Guide.com for more Kendo information and how to support Kendo-Guide.com. Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 175. First off, I started Kendo-Guide weekly wrap up. I don't know how people like it, but I did it. I did it on live, both on Patreon, Patreon website, and also what's that? A YouTube site for the YouTube audience. And of course, they have different contents, and I have to apologize that apparently I set the setting. I put the setting private instead of unlisted for Patreon. So there was some trouble there, because if it's in private, you cannot watch it. So I apologize for that. And also, because I don't really announce when I go on live, so a lot of people miss it as live. But I found it very interesting, because when I did it on YouTube, some people actually came and say hello to me. That was very nice, so that was great. And they started asking me questions, and then maybe I should do this often, maybe weekly wrap up should be on live. Of course, when I have time and everyone, it's going to be weekend, either Saturday. I did it on Sunday because I didn't have time on Saturday. So I did it, was it on Sunday? Last week was Sunday. Last time, yeah. Yesterday was Sunday. So I didn't have time because of promotion exam of my federation that I belong to. So I couldn't do it on Saturday. I couldn't record at all on Saturday because I have to drive 3 hours to get there and then come back 3 hours, drive 3 hours home. And I'm going to be there all day. So it started from 4 o'clock actually. So I had to serve my, family in the morning and cook lunch and feed my kids. And then left for grading, a promotion exam. So I thought, that was mainly for kids. And then, kids are like, they don't know what to do, so that's okay. They as a result, everyone passed. But it is very important that, I really thought about, I've been thinking about how important it is to have, instructor. Of course, if you have an instructor, you have to listen to them. But I really, really think we need a seminar for instructors. Now, it is very true that you can just do Kendo movements. You can learn Kendo movements, whether you're doing it right or wrong. Okay, so you can learn it from DVD, you can learn it from YouTube, you can learn it from book. As a matter of fact, I have a book on Amazon. It's basically all over the world. It's available in Kindle as well. So you can learn from them, right from the book. And I'm working on publishing Kendo Guide for Beginners Actually, it's coming back. DVDs will coming back on Amazon because now they do the service. I don't know how long they've been doing it. I just kind of quit doing that because I don't have control over Amazon. Of course, there's a big company, so I cannot do settings like, and when I want to give you discount, I cannot give you discount because Amazon controls everything. So I didn't want to. I didn't really look into it, but if I can make it reasonable enough, everyone can purchase it and start learning. That's my hope. And I also started again selling videos, so you can download it and you can watch it on. We have smartphone and everything now. You can watch it and learn it everywhere with smartphone or tablets. So I started uploading those videos I made, instruction videos. So that will help me to keep contents. If you have listened, if you have watched my wrap up, anyway, let's talk about instruction. I just go around. Let's stay on this main road, not side roads. Okay. So you can learn now Kendo movements, but if you do that, no one will be there to correct you. It's common sense, right? If you think about it, you can learn. It's a one-way street. You can learn from YouTube or videos, those materials which will help you to learn, but no one will be there to correct you. That is the downside, right? So it's the same thing. Even if you have an instructor, if they don't correct you or they don't make an effort to give you the guidance how you can correct you, and then of course you have to do your part, and then you can accomplish the certain things. Even I always give you this analogy. You're climbing up the mountains, you have a map. Oh, I should be going there, and but even so, you have a map, but you make mistakes. Sometimes you take the wrong way. Okay, that happens, and when it happens, once you get into the wrong way, maybe you can come out to the right path, right track. But sometimes you just get into the dark, you just can't find a way to get out. Sometimes that happens. Kendo, same thing. If you don't know where to go, if you don't have guidance, you have a map, which is book and videos, but you often get into this darkness. You take wrong path, and you don't know you're taking wrong path because you truly believe that you're going on the right path. So the problem is you don't have guidance. Even if you have a good guidance, if you don't listen to them, you have to I have a problem with this word. Wander. I can't pronounce it right. Wander around in the darkness. Never get out of this wrong path in a bad cycle, and you just stay there. The easy thing is listen to the guidance, and maybe sometimes guidance might be wrong, and then the good guidance will tell you, oh, I was wrong. This is the right path. Let's go that way. Okay. But anyway, so as long as I'm concerned, as long as I think, if you have a guidance, they know the right path up to a certain level, certain place. So listen to them. Okay. Now, the more important thing is in a lot of senses says copy your sensei, emulate your sensei, duplicate. If you can do it, you should copy, watch it, and do it. Some people are not good at it, but that's the easiest way to improve. Now, it's very important that, if you just imagine, I want to do Kendo like this, you have a vivid image of someone like that, someone your goal, your role model or whatever. So you strongly imagine how you want to do Kendo, and then if you have that type of role model near you, that's the best. So if you have a teacher, that's great. Now, if you're a beginner and watching YouTube, that doesn't help a lot, because it's too, you're looking at like super athletes in YouTube, and then you're like a normal person, like me watching marathon in the Olympics. They are professional. I mean, they're supposed to be amateur, but that's how they live, right? They belong to some company and they pay so they can practice, blah, 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 blah. So, I can't beat them. I can't do marathon. I can't run 42 something kilometers, within 2 hours. Do they do that within 2 hours? Well, anyway, around 2 hours. I can't bloody do that. So it's impossible, because I don't run, basically. That's first. First, I don't run, right? And second, even if I train from now, at the age of 46, I don't think I can run like them. Maybe I can improve my running. Okay, this is the good point. I can improve the way I run, but I cannot be like them. So this is, you can aim. Okay, these are great senseis. 8th Dan senseis on YouTube. I want to do Kendo like that. Now, we don't know how they got there. That's the problem. All right, I know they trained hard, right? I know we have to train hard, but how they trained hard is the missing pieces, the big pieces missing. So if you're a beginner, do what you learned over and over, and then missing pieces, that's the pieces your teachers will give you. Okay, so that is the important part, and then gradually you improve, and then first dan, second dan, second and third dan. These are, you have to know what you should be able to do within these, from beginners and the third dan. Okay, this is the one line, one chunk. The day you started, okay, and then up to third dan, you work on one thing. Okay, shikake waza. Okay, I'm sorry. Apparently, I'm hungry. My stomach doesn't stop growling. Is that how you say? Anyway, so this is one chunk. You work on shikake waza. Okay, and then don't worry about counterattacks too much. It's cool. It looks cool. All right, looks cool. But if you start thinking about doing counterattacks, we call it ojiwaza, that's too much, unless you're good at it. If you have a teacher and then your teacher says, oh, you're good at it, it's no problem. I'm not saying don't do it at all. I'm just talking about general late starters. Okay, so if you can't do shikake waza, you shouldn't be working on ojiwaza. Mainly because ojiwaza is, you need to know your distance, and you need to know how to deal with fast strikes. Okay, so you have to have a good guess, you have to have a good technique, you have to know, you have to have the ability to at least to see the striking distance, your striking distance and your opponent's striking distance. And then if you get better, you can control the distance, you know. But anyway, that's a different story. So if you have, but if instructors don't know how to guide you where you are supposed to be at certain amount of time or at your level, that is hard to guide you, right? So it's really at a certain level, it is very hard for instructors to guide you to. Okay, in US, fourth dan, 4dan is considered as sensei. But I've been feeling like unless you have experience to teach, you know, and unless you know where you should be guiding them, that's very hard. Of course, like I said, people are different. I had to instruct. I had to instruct a lot of beginners when I was third dan. In New Zealand. So because no one else was there, right? It's simple. No one else was there, so I had to guide them. Now I had a bad experience because I did the Japanese way, you know, in New Zealand. So I lost a lot of students because I didn't know how things work in New Zealand or outside Japan. So simple as that, right? So if you know how to guide people and you know, if you know how at least at your level, to your level, you can guide them. That's great. But usually for fourth dan, maybe they can guide you up until shodan, maybe, if they know how things work in Kendo, if they have analyzed well. But you know, so it depends on, I think, abilities, individual abilities. But anyway, so I think it's very important around around me anyway. I think it's very important for people, especially adults. Doesn't matter their grade. It's important for everyone to know how to guide people. You know, they are adults. Right. If you're late starters, you should know the theories of Kendo and reasoning behind movements, and also you know what goals you have to have at a certain level, so everyone know where they should be heading. You know, I don't mean to have. I personally disagree to have a similar Kendo everyone, because everyone is different. I don't see the necessity of, you know, everyone should look alike. You know, everyone is different. Even though if you learn from exactly the same sensei. Depends on your body shape, depends on your personality, depends on your, age. Your Kendo will be different. And it should be different. You know, it doesn't mean you all have to look the same. But philosophy of the dojo should be passed on to the next generation. That's why it is important for the instructors to have philosophy, principle. And then, if you don't have one, you just follow the All Japan Kendo Federation philosophy, International Kendo Federation's concept of Kendo. You know, Kendo is to discipline human characters through the the application of the principles of the katana. That's all right? So if you know that, and if you know what to do, this is why we are doing this. Everyone can be instructor. And also, we don't really. If you get lost, go back to the principle. Usually, it will put you back on the right track. Okay, so this is very important, I think. And even if you're a beginner, you should know certain things. You know, at the start, questioning is important, but just do it until you get the idea is also important too. A lot of people have questions, and adults have have tendency to have a lot of questions. I think that's fine, but when you learn, okay, at the dojo, we have certain time. We have limited time to between sensei and students. So if you keep asking the question, you don't get to learn movements. So unless it's really important for you, otherwise you can't keep training, and then probably you should ask. But remember, this is a rare opportunity for you to learn from a teacher. So just learn it, and then once you learn it all, maybe one day you will go, oh, okay, my question is answered by just practicing what teacher told me to do. So that happens as well. Now, you can learn philosophy of Kendo, and you can learn history of Kendo from Alex Bennett Sensei, my brother's book. So, you can do it at your own time. The history, maybe, not everyone knows everything, unless you are specialized in that area. So, when you learn from sensei, learn as much as possible. Something you can only learn at the dojo. And then you can practice at home. Oh, yeah, the great thing about live on YouTube, I had a lot of good questions from those people. I think I should do that, really, more often. So, I can actually talk to people. I can listen to people live. That is amazing. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this podcast. Now, first, if you just studied Kendo, don't worry about it too much. You just do what your teacher tell you to do, and have a good conversation with your teacher. If your teacher doesn't know much about history, don't just blame him or her. You have good materials. Just Google Alex Bennett. He's a specialized in history and Kendo and Budo and everything. He has all the answers. All right. When you learn from your teacher, you learn movements, and you have my videos on YouTube. You can watch those. If they're different from your teachers, don't listen to me. You listen to your teacher. All right. Simple as that. All right. So, if your teacher is lower ranked than me, maybe you can, you don't argue with teacher. That doesn't help. Okay, your teacher's teacher is not the same as mine. Okay, so maybe we have two different teachers, quite likely. So maybe we do different things. We do the things differently. So don't blame him or her. Okay, but I truly believe what I'm sharing is not wrong, because from my I don't really add my own stuff. When I add my own stuff, it's only time I want you to achieve what I learned from my senses. So, and then every time I go to seminars and listen to those 8th-dan senseis, nothing different. They say the same thing. All right. So basically, I'm passing the messages from the previous generations, and then I'm adding my way to achieve what the previous generation said to me. Okay, so that's all. I'm not adding my own stuff. I do that only to my students. Okay, so don't worry. I to the public purpose, I don't really share my own method. All right, I really share my method to achieve what those great senseis say. So, Don't worry about it. As long as you listen to your teacher and a great sensei, 8th dan senseis, they're saying the same, pretty much the same thing. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next podcast. By the way, today is Labor Day, and if you listen to this at Patreon website, happy Labor Day. If you're in the US, if you're public, I don't know when you're listening to this, so don't get confused. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo For Life.